Coach, you've had some time. You've had some time now to look at Saturday's Coastal game. You kind of knew what happened, some breakdowns defensively. Offensively, to only score one touchdown, I know that disappointed you. Can you put your finger on what went wrong and what are you guys addressing this week to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, I think there's a combination of things. First and foremost, I don't ever want to take anything away from our opponent. I thought Coastal had a really good game plan, and I thought they executed very, very well against our offense. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They were able to get extra hats to the ball and extra hats to our plays. Um, the other piece to it, I just didn't see the same um, energy and fire that we had been coming out with. I know I was asked, I believe I was asked by you, talking about coming out flat. I don't know. I don't know if we came out flat. I just think the initial part of it, of not executing right off the start, really kind of stuck with our guys, and we just didn't get anything going. And really to only have a couple drives in that game, one where we score off an interception, we were able to drive and score a touchdown, and then we had a drive and we missed a field goal, and that was really all we did on offense. I think that the big piece to that is we've got to come back. We had to make sure we reevaluated ourselves as coaches. We needed to reevaluate our players. We need to reevaluate, you know, what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it and who we're trying to get to do it. And I think that's really important. And I think there's a huge challenge, for our offense, to come back and respond. When you go through the year, I think things were kind of trending up for us offensively, and then to come out and play like that, and not continue to get better from one week to another. I think it takes it takes some self-reflection. It takes some really looking hard in the mirror and going, hey, what do we need to do to get better? And I think we addressed those things yesterday about the effort we play with, the attention to detail we play with, the ability to adjust when we see this is how teams are playing us, and making sure that we just don't put ourselves into a hole where we don't get out of it. And that's been a focal point, through yesterday and today. And we're going to practice tonight, so we'll get out there, we'll get a great work day in, and, hopefully get our offense better.
With the amount of talent that you've got and that you had coming back, the amount of seniors that you have at a lot of those positions, many people thought this might be one of the best offenses Georgia Southern's had in quite a while. Do you feel that is the case, that you've got that kind of talent? And do you feel like they've performed up to expectations that you guys have had?
I think we do have good players. I do feel like that we should be a better offense. I think the inconsistency piece is a problem. I believe that if we could be more consistent, and again, we had a bad game, and I'm not going to step away from that. And again, if we're looking at offensively, through the first 5 games, um, you know. Uh, you can look at other teams' records and you could say, well, we should perform better against these teams. And then you can look at the ones that have really good records and are ranked. How did we perform against them? And I think that's what you've got to make sure that you don't do, is sit there and look at it and go, well, because you did this against this team, um, you're where you need to be. And I think it's important that we challenge our staff and we challenge our guys to get better each and every day. But I do feel like we have the talent. I mean, I think we've got good skill at the running back position. I think we have gotten better at the wide receiver position, for sure, in recruiting. I think Shy's continuing to show that he's growing, and that a 4-year starting quarterback that can come run our offense and basically be a coach on the field for us. And we got experience at offensive line. And our guys, know they didn't play well Saturday, and hopefully they come out with a chip on their shoulder tonight and go to work, and then be ready to play on Thursday night.
Coach, coming off a tough loss, how do you look forward to this week's Thursday night game? Possibly as, what are some advantages that you see with it for your team to be able to move on and get better?
Well, I think the advantages of a short week is it's quicker to the game, and it's you got an opportunity to get the bad taste out of your mouth sooner. When you lose around here, it's hard. Because everybody expects Georgia Southern to win. Everybody expects Georgia Southern to play great each and every week, and we expect ourselves to do that. And so that's hard when you lose, because now you want to get that bad taste out of your mouth. So I think that is a positive. I think the challenges to playing on a short week is the ability to get your game plan in, correct the things that maybe you need to be corrected from the loss, and not a lot of time to do that. Sunday is a day that's usually about the corrections from the previous game and introing the next opponent. Well, Sunday for us had to be really quickly figure out what we had to fix, but also get a really good head start on our opponent and do actually more at practice against what our opponent is going to give us. So Sunday had to be amped up a little bit more, and then obviously day's got to be amped up, because really when you get to tomorrow, man, the hay's got to be in the barn, and you got to be ready to go play and execute. So I think there's some positives, but I do think there's some challenges to it. But again, we've played some Thursday night games before, and it's not anything new to us, so we should be able to go do that.
Coach, what have you seen from South Alabama in the 2 or 3 days that you've been looking at them?
I just studying them, because I've done a lot of watching for personnel, and try to see how we match up. I think they're better from last year. I see a group that's really trying to come into the mold of what Coach Campbell is doing at South Alabama. And it looks like they've recruited well, because there's a lot of quick twitch guys out there. There's guys that look strong. They're going to definitely be a challenge. Offensively, they're going to be a spread team that likes to run the stretch, divide zone stuff, but get that play action pass going and throw the ball a little bit too. So that obviously getting back into more of a traditional offense for our defense to defend after going up against an option team. So that's another challenge for us, is to be able to switch gears and get to that. Defensively, they run an odd defense. If you go back a couple years ago in 2018, they ran multiple defenses against us. What they did last year that I think helped them is they played a little bit more base defense. They stayed in their odd defense and really did a good job of fitting gaps and you play an assignment sound football. So, and then I think that their talent is getting better, and I think they're doing a really good job there. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us. And I say that because, we haven't done what we needed to do this year. And until we can come out and do that against an opponent, we've got to make sure that we're getting better every day and understand we better not underestimate anybody this year.
Coach, when Coach Steve Campbell was on the conference call earlier today, I believe he said that they're kind of getting back to the way they played against Southern Miss, the first game, that they're kind of back to where they need to be. The last couple of games they played very well. I don't know if you had a chance to study their whole season, but what are they doing better the last couple of weeks that maybe they weren't doing so well on those losses early in the season? Where's the upswing going for them right now?
I think it's the physicality and the effort. Like if you go back and watch that Southern Miss film, and I remember watching the game early on because we didn't have a game that week. And I remember watching it and just going, wow, man, South Alabama's playing fast and they're playing with a lot of effort and talent-wise look to be better. And, hadn't studied them until now, but I think that's what's happening. These last two games, being able to get those 2 wins in a row, they're showing what they showed when they opened the season. So I think the ability to really be hone in on what they do on offense and defense, but the physicality, the effort they play with, and then the talent that they're getting in there, I think has really shown this year.
Coach, we just talked with Logan about, him coming from California to Jacksonville to Statesboro. What was that recruitment like when, Jacksonville, ends their program of going out and getting this guy?
That was one that, we were really happy that there was an interest, because we were able to watch some of the Jacksonville film and, just see how he really performed for them. And obviously coming out of an option offense at Jacksonville, it was really a good fit for us. And, so it was unique, and then because, him and his mom coming here and, he came on a visit and mom had to come a little bit later and see the place. He made a decision after before she came and visited. And so that was unique also. But to get him here and, allow her to get here and see the place and just be able to, kind of get to know him a little bit better, even though it was a fast recruitment. He ended up being a great fit for us, and I'm glad we got him. He's definitely upgraded us on the offensive line, has really stepped in, from playing tackle to going to playing center, and has really improved each game. So he's a guy that we're glad to have and really can't wait to, continue to play with him, but also get him into an off season where we can continue to develop him because he can be a really good player for us.
Coach, on social media, Coastal Carolina made it there on Sports Illustrated, kind of parodying some of the stuff you guys have done. When you see that, or if you've seen it, or if you haven't, does that make you guys upset? Does it bother you? Does it make you rethink some of the things you're doing, or do you not care at all?
I really don't care. I mean, if a team wins, they got the right to celebrate how they want to celebrate. And, if they choose to do that, it's all good, no problems. If we win the football game and they celebrate like that, then I would think I'd have a problem, but they won the football game. They kicked our butts, and we got to take our butt kicking like men and understand that's what comes with it. So no issues with it. Anything else? All right. Y'all have an awesome day. Thank y'all for coming.
Coach.
GATA.